This is Paul at Plum Smart, and today I'm not talking about plumbing. I'm just going to give y'all a garden update. There's some squash I just picked, and let's see. I'm recycling a thermal expansion tank box. So there you go, making use of throwaway product. Let me start out over here. I got a pear tree. I haven't seen any partridges this year, but there's some pears. I've got a lot of them all over this tree, and I haven't treated this tree this year. I may have to spray some fungicide on it. Probably should have already done that. But anyway, yeah, see there's some like black leaves. I don't know what's causing that, but it ain't good. And then over here, I got another pear tree, and this. A lot of fruit trees just do every other year, so this must have been the other year that it's not producing. And then I had growing up along this fence something called, I think it's called Buckhorn Sumac. And before you get all riled up about sumac thinking it's poisonous, not all varieties are, this Buckhorn Sumac actually produces these red little berries, and the birds love them. But you can save those berries probably around August. You pull them off the trees. That's some of it that's growing right there. And you can make this wonderful tasting tea out of it. It's full of vitamin C. So you're saying, why'd you cut them down? Because look, the roots, here's one of the trunks I cut down. The roots just spread out just below the surface, and then they pop up. One popped up there, I cut it down. Some popped up there, I cut them down. And they're over there, and they spring up all over the yard. So it's like they were getting out of control. So it's better just to drive down the road, and when you see some on the side of the road, stop and pick some of those berry clusters, and then go home and make you some tea. And this is where I had my trailer parked, and man, I mean, that Buckhorn Sumac was all over the place. So I had to chop it all down. It gets pretty tall, probably gets 20 or 30 feet tall, and that's one of the stumps I chopped down. But anyway, let me get you over here. I got an electric fence around my garden. Here's a post with some connectors on it. And that's to keep the deer out. And the only problem is it doesn't keep the rabbits out or any other smaller creature. I'm stepping through the fence. Alright, here's something I learned after, I'm 60 years old, been growing a garden for 30 years. And this plant is just growing, on the ground. It's a squash. You can see little squashes down there. And it spreads out horribly. And this year, I was moving these cages out of the way to just get them out of the way so I can mulch around the plants. And I thought, well, I'll just leave them there and see what happens. Well, look, growing right up this cage, this plant's kind of a vine. And so it's growing up the cage, and so I got space down my row. So I didn't have enough cages to cover all the plants, but most of them I did. And see, the squash are just kind of growing in and out of the cages. And I just cut holes where I can stick my hand in there to pick them if I can't get them from the top side or whatever. But anyway, that's all my summer squash, yellow squash or whatever. And then I planted these snow peas right here. I don't know what kind they are, it's just some seeds I bought at Home Depot. And planted them way too late. It's a cool weather crop, but it's been cool this year. So, look at all of them here. My son came over and picked a bunch yesterday. And that's what we got there. And then I got, these are pickles. And I get the canning type pickles because they get big too. They don't get quite as big as the other varieties. But that's what my wife likes. And look, where is it? I'm trying to get, oh, there it is right there. Look at there. Now that looks big in the camera view, but it's only about 3 inches long. But probably in a day or two, that thing will be ready to pick. So I got that coming on down this road. So, and I put them up on these vines so they'll climb. But they spread wild too. They're getting over into other areas. So then I got peppers. And you know, I buy these things and I put the tags in the ground, what they are, and then I forget. These are hot peppers, I know that. And I got some down here. They should turn red, but I don't know if they're chili peppers. I have no idea. But anyway, then I tried some strawberry plants that a friend gave me. And I put them in these old water barrels. And I put them up, you know, I'm scrounging stuff all the time. This is actually a water heater stand, that metal thing right there. So I put them in so that they'd be up off the ground higher, easier to pick. That's the idea. And then I got beans. These are Blue Lake beans. And I'm gonna have 1,000,000 of them. They are, I don't know, I must have had a bunch of clover in here, something like that flooded the soil with nitrogen. And so the vines have been growing like crazy. But they just started to put out blossoms. I was like, man, these things ain't ever gonna bloom. I'm never gonna get any. But there's a few blossoms right there, scattered out here and there. When they kind of turn blue. Let me see if I can find some. Where's that thing? I can't figure out which. Okay. See that Japanese beetle? He's dead. Reason he's dead is, you see this white stuff? That is not seven dust. That is diatomaceous earth. So I'll let you do your own research on that. But it's all natural. Basically, it's microscopic or something, seashells. Put that on the lays, look. There is a bug right there that got him a little bit too much diatomaceous earth. It's like glass to a bug. They eat it, and there's one that ain't dead. Shoot, he got away. He'll die eventually, because I know he got it. All right, here's my corn. About 2 weeks ago, we had a huge windstorm, thunderstorm, and it knocked all this corn down. Now, it was probably only about 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. Now it's approaching 4 feet, 5 feet tall. When it knocked it down, I used to get all worried and come out here and straighten it all up and everything. That is the wrong thing to do. You need to let it stand up on its own. It actually makes it stronger. So the next big storm comes along, maybe it won't get knocked over. Now look at here. There's some tassels starting on that one. That's good. That's good. All right, now over here, I got blueberries. I have to put bird netting over them, or the birds will get every single one of them. They eat them before they're ripe. Dastardly creatures. You know, if you read the Bible, that was an agrarian society, and in the New Testament, in Jesus' parables, the birds always represent evil because birds destroyed your crops. They ate your crops. So anyway, that's what I talked about. Squash, snow peas, cucumbers, beans. And I got come down here to my favorite crop of all, tomatoes. These are Cherokee Purple, my very favorite kind. I love Cherokee Purple. And I've got a lot of them on there. Kind of see them down in there between the leaves and stuff. Man, they're called indeterminate. It's an indeterminate variety, so they just keep growing and growing and growing. You got to prune them to keep cutting off the runners, and it's hard to keep up with them. They run, and I'm 62 years old. Sometimes they run faster than I do. But anyway, that's my tomatoes. Other side of them. We got over here. These are collard greens from last winter. And I left these two plants hoping they would go to seed and I wouldn't even have to replant next year. I'll just have some spring up automatically. Alright, so looky here. Here's a water heater stand. I put these pepper plants beside them so that when they get taller, I can tie them off and look, I save the tag. This is a California Wonder. It's also, what do you call that variety? Heirloom. No, it's not heirloom. I don't know if this is an heirloom or a hybrid, but you can save the seeds on these right here. So I guess maybe it is an heirloom. And, you know, for replanting next year. So that's probably what I'll do. And here's one starting to form a blossom. And these are volunteer tomato plants. And they're either, I think they're Cherokee Purple because they came up from a crop I had last year and the leaves looked the same. I had some kind of German tomato too, but they had like leaves that looked like pepper plants. No, potato plants. Potatoes and tomatoes are related to each other, if you didn't know. And here is some kind of pepper already growing. And that must be some kind of bell pepper right there. I don't know where the tag is for that. Maybe a red giant Chinese variety. And these right here are black-eyed Susans. They grow like weeds too. I keep pulling them up and replanting them. That's a weed. Pull that. The deer don't like them, supposedly. So I planted these around my pepper plants because they'll come in, the deer will come in and eat up the pepper plants if they get in my electric fence. Alright, so look, there's a black-eyed Susan already budding out, starting to bloom. I like that. Okay, alrighty, looky here. This, I've never grown Tabasco peppers before. Now the picture on these is yellow, so I don't know what they're gonna look like when they're ripe. Must be some kind of weird variety, but you get an idea like hot peppers. So, and then here's some more of those black-eyed Susans. These are peppers. I don't know where the tag is. Some of these are supposed to be called like ghost peppers, which are like supposed to be extremely hot. But then I got more blueberries, and these don't get ripe until probably July, August. Starting there, here's one or two getting there. But these right here, of course I got the bird netting on them. These right here, these plants were here when I bought this place. There's one right there growing outside the fence. I'm gonna eat it. Man, these are the best blueberries I've ever tasted in my life. And I think I've never done anything to these. I hardly even ever pruned them. But they get ripe, you know, a little bit at a time. And I put this bird netting so I don't have to fight the birds. Sometimes the birds get up under there and jump around eating their fill. Then they find their way out. But anyway, that's my garden. Come back over here. I got these are fig trees, and we had a late frost one year and it killed the whole plant, and they never have done very well since then because they come up on all these shoots, you know, and I think I need to just chop them all down but one. I'm going to get a few. There's a couple right there. There's another one. So anyway, that's my figs. And then I've got this little pond here. It was here when I bought the place. I just saw frog jump. Got all these water plants up in there. Frogs love this place. And when I go fishing, if I'm fishing with minnows, I'll bring them back, throw them in the pond. And they love it. But anyway, that's my garden. So I got several jobs lined up for next week already. And I hope the Corona has been nice to you, not bothered you too much. But people look at my videos, they go, man, how much land do you have? Well, I only have 1.5 acres. I'm just, all back there is just woods, but it doesn't belong to me. Just maybe 50 yards back, there's mine. So, that's it. Plum Smart Paw signing out. And I hope y'all had a great week. And if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. I post a lot of how to do it videos about plumbing too. See y'all later.